Hello and welcome to Business Africa. I am Amel Nga. Coming up in this edition, the debate on the expansion of large retail multinationals is still ongoing in Senegal as Carrefour enters the market. Kenya is moving towards a ban on the import of second-hand vehicles. A new law on the entry of older vehicles into the country is expected. Angola is making its return to the bond markets. The country signed an agreement with the International Monetary Fund to launch a major privatization program. After Ivory Coast and Cameroon, the Safao Group has set out to conquer the Senegalese market with the opening of its very first Carrefour store. But its 48 local employees and its low-cost product chain are not unanimously accepted and are in line with the controversy that has been going on for several months. Local traders denounce unfair competition. Guy Rodrigue Loué and Ignatius Anor with more.
A debate on the influx of foreign supermarkets has resurfaced in Senegal. It follows the opening of the first French multinational retailer Carrefour in the country a few days ago. Last year, protests erupted against the establishment of the Auchan Group. In response to the controversy, the government has issued a decree to regulate supermarket businesses.
We
believe that the creation of regional committees to give authorization to any new multinational retailers is a good thing, except that in these committees, the traders are in the minority. The state is pro-multinational supermarkets, and therefore these committees will simply authorize all these retailers to settle in our country.
According to Director of Cabinet at the Ministry of Commerce, Moussa Thiam, Senegalese traders must show responsibility.
The state cannot prevent these supermarkets from moving here to Senegal. Now, merchants must in fact follow this new deal of trade that has become an applicable trade.
The import sector declined by about $20 million in the last quarter of 2018, according to data from the Department of Forecasting and Economic Studies. France is the main supplier to Senegal, followed by Nigeria and China.
This is a new law that may change the automotive sector. Kenya is moving towards a ban on the import of older vehicles. Currently, only cars manufactured in 2012 are allowed to cross national borders. The new law pending proposals could limit this entry to vehicles less than 5 years old. Report by William Baiha and Philomen Bale.
Kenyans will no longer be allowed to import second-hand cars older than 5 years. Kenya's Bureau of Standards has been instructed to draft a new legal amendment that requires citizens to import second-hand cars, which are between 5 and 8 years old from July. Trade Secretary Peter Munya in December 2018 in a letter outlined the government's position as it had already committed itself to developing a national automotive policy framework and at the same time review the emission levels and age limit on imported used motor vehicles from the current 8 years to 5 years effectively from July 2019. A vehicle manufactured in 2012 is the oldest that can be imported into the country this year based on the current 8-year age limit, but the change to 5 years means that the year of manufacture will now be from 2015. Kenyans fear that if implemented, the law will lead to an increased demand for newer cars and producers may tend to increase prices as a result. Official data shows Kenya imports an average of 7,600 vehicles per month.
We are talking to Peter Munya, the Trade Cabinet Secretary of Kenya, online from Nairobi. Hello, Peter Munya, and welcome to Business Africa.
Yes, thank you very much. Most appreciated.
The Kenyan government wants to limit the import of used cars over 8 years old by 2021. What would have motivated this new policy?
We are doing this because of the concern for environment and also the need to spur the development of the automobile industry in Kenya. Old vehicles, usually in some countries where we get them from, are actually obsolete vehicles that no longer have much use in those countries. When people buy them, They bring them. There is a lot of maintenance costs to customers and buyers. Therefore, protect the consumer. At the same time, grow the industry to generate employment for our people, and at the same time also protect the environment. For the vehicles that are 1500 cc and above, we want to use 5 years this year by beginning of July. And then next year, in July, we move to 3 years. And then the following year, we move to new vehicles, completely new vehicles in that category. And then for the vehicles, the smaller vehicles, we want also to reduce gradually, but we move not this year, next year to 5 years.
What is the impact of this new policy in the national economy?
The big picture is that the automobile industry has been complaining, especially those who have been doing assembly, who have assembly plants. They have been wanting to expand. Others are not being able to operate to full capacity because of competition from imported second-hand vehicles. So they are saying once we take those measures and other tax incentives that we want to give car assemblers and the part makers, they will be able to utilize the capacity they have and then plan long-term in terms of investing in that particular industry. So we foresee a situation where manufacturing of new vehicles will start in Kenya, assembly of vehicles will start, and it will obviously impact the region because the region can also source vehicles from here. You know, these vehicles already, some of the dealers sell across the region. I'm sure they'll be able to sell even more.
Manufacturers such as Peugeot and Volkswagen have recently taken over some of the assembly of their products in Kenya. What is the viability of the new car market in the country today?
It is growing. They started new vehicles, a new model, a local model here. They envision they will buy 150, they will sell 150 units. They are selling 300 units this year. They have double the order that they don't will provide. So that's a clear indication that the market for new vehicles is big and growing. So the individual buying may see as if there's employment, but you know, if you look at the factories, they employ more people. So we think in the long run, even though there will be some pain, in the long run, this will be beneficial to the growth of that industry and therefore, in totality, the number of jobs that will be sparked by that policy shift.
Thank you, Peter Munya, for these insights. Munya is a Trade Cabinet Secretary of Kenya.
Thank you. Looking forward to talking to you another time.
Stability and a return to economic growth. Angola is preparing for its return to the bond markets. The details of this subject after the break.